our next segment, moving right into the DNA of business. And we have Rosanna. We're excited to have her, and she is the leader of the awesome women's group. And she's going to be sharing with us the 530 grid and how the DNA of business helps us attract profitable clients. Go ahead, Rosanna, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. So I have a question for you. Have you ever had done some baking and left out an ingredient? And when you get done, you realize you left out the ingredient because you taste the final product and, maybe it's done flat because you didn't put the right ingredient in, like baking soda or the baking powder. Or maybe it just lacks a lot of taste because you left out the salt. It does make a different product. And if you're not one of those bakers and you go ahead and you're maybe like one that likes to do projects, you get the project, you're starting to build this awesome shelving unit, and you're missing the main thing that hooks to the wall so that it will stand up straight and not fall over. Kind of makes the product a little bit defective. So when we're working with clients and we're looking at trying to develop profitable clients, I was hearing on the earlier show that you don't always have a profitable client. Sometimes you have to develop them. I think you need the right ingredients to do so. And one of those ways to do the right ingredients is to follow a system. And we have a system that we have worked on for many years called the 530 Grid. And it seems to be the system that helps a lot of businesses stay in business and keep on track. And so I think that if you realize what you're dealing with, and if you realize the intricacies of what the 530 Grid could do for you, you would follow it almost religiously. It's kind of like when you do a recipe or following directions on building something. So when I was looking through this and trying to just kind of figure out, okay, what is a profitable client and what do we do with them and how do we work with them? And these are the questions that, I came up with. How do you know which one will be profitable? How do you figure that out? What's going to be the best way to figure that out? Well, I think if you look at the 530 Grid, you'll see a box 4 and it says to ask key questions. So you have people that you're talking to and you need to know some information. So asking key questions is important. And we have a really good system that we follow called a 30-minute strategy session. The key questions in that, they amaze people. They go, that's a good question. I've never thought of that. So having key questions in front of you and realizing who you're talking to will be very helpful. And Cheryl, she talked about the personalities and understanding the personalities. And so I think it's really important when you're asking the key questions that you know who you're talking to and that you understand their personality some. And so in those key questions, especially a 30-minute strategy session, there is is a way to find out their personalities. You're making sure that you're dealing with if you're talking to an analytical, that you're dealing with the preciseness of things. If you're talking to an expressive, you're making sure that it sounds fun. And so I think it's very important in those key questions to make sure that you hit the personalities and understand them. And then, okay, so you have these clients and you got them on the line. What are you doing with them? And I think that some people, they get a lot of people that they talk to. Are they tracking them? And how do you know if one of the people you're talking to is actually a key client? You might not know right away. I was told the other day that one of our clients, in asking the key questions, didn't test out to be a very highly coachable client, but had been one of the best coachable clients that we've had. And so I think you don't exactly know that. So you want to make sure you're tracking all the leads that you have, all the 100% leads. And that's box 3 on the 530 Grid, making sure that you track the leads and making sure that you have information about them right there in front of you, the biggest challenge, the things, their personalities, understanding what they want. And so if you have these when you're talking to your clients and prospective clients, if you have that information, it really helps to work through the tough things first. Once you get the client, what are you doing with that client? Are you just keeping just one client, or do you want more clients? Well, I would think that, you probably need more than one client. So one of those ways is if the client is really happy with you, you want to make sure that you're asking for their referrals, people that they know that would really need your business. And so box 7 on the 530 grid asks for referrals. You want to make sure that you're asking for those people that could go ahead and be your next great client. So getting the clients, attracting them. To attract a client, you have to have a operating system, as in we do the 530 grid. You have to have that in front of you. You have to keep track of people. If you are not keeping track of people, people aren't going to want to go ahead and stick with you. They're like, are you following up on the people I sent to? Are you checking with them? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? If they don't see you doing that, they might, drop you as a person too. They might not keep you, and then you'll lose more than one client. So always making sure that you're tracking the referrals that they give you. So a client is profitable when they are giving you referrals too. A client is profitable when you're working together and helping each other, because you may be able to give them a referral for somebody that you want to have help on. And so I think it's really important that you remember the ingredients and the things that need to be developed in a project that you're doing. And the best way to do that, I believe, is making sure that you have the recipe, which we call the 530 grid, the business operating system. And that's all I have for today.
Wow. Thank you so much. Are there any questions for Rosanna?
Yes, Rosanna. So once you've boxed 1 and gotten your targets, a lot of times we obviously want to have the phone conversation with the client as much as possible, but in our work we found that a lot of our clients say email us first. So how would you develop a message for profitable clients so that you can get box 7 kind of precursored and key up that conversation to get them into the one-on-one phone call versus just an email? What the written message can we use from the box system to help us create that message?
Well, my thoughts would be to make sure that you have the key questions in the email that maybe they can use to pass on to the referral. So you have to ask the questions. Maybe you've gotten the 30-minute strategy session with them. That's how you got connected with them. And so you have a connection with them. And so they thought the questions that you asked them were really good. Or maybe they filled it out online. Once you have that, they could use that to connect with the next people for you. They may be able to actually give you most of the 30-minute strategy session, so you could come in and you already know the next referral more than maybe they do. So I don't know. I could throw that up to other business owners like Mark or Kevin. Maybe you have some ideas.
Yeah, I would go ahead and go through the course. Sticky messages. It's a 7-week course through Legacy Partners that took over 49 weeks to develop the course and over 30 years of experience. A lot of times, Jennifer, we're looking for fast, easy, like just give me the answer, and it's like, well, I can give you the answer, ask a question, tell a story. That one piece of information took 49 weeks to figure out and over 30 years of experience. And so, but it's a lot more than that. Yes, that's the essence. Yes, you want to ask a question and tell a story. Asking the questions, open up somebody's heart, telling the story. Fills that and moves somebody. It creates leverage. The question creates leverage, and then the story. So the leverage is opening somebody's heart. The question is is filling that to move them from, one dimension to another. But again, I would take the course for sure. So there's a course in box 2 that I would take, sticky messages. There's another course in box 12 called the Magic Seat System. There's an amazing course in box 5, the PCS, the Prospect Conversion System. Box 4, there's a course that's asking it's dollars in the bank, and it's how to ask key questions. And then they're working on another course in box 8 in presenting solution. And so it's a discipline, it's a very disciplined approach to being able to go through. So in 10 minutes, obviously, and Rosanna did a great job, Cheryl did a great job, but it's to really become a master, and I think it's tipping point, it's the rule of 10,000. You've got to do something 10,000 times. And practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And so we have to, if we go through the course and we're applying that course, what we're learning in that course over and over again and again, and then ideally getting one-on-one coaching or getting, being part of a mastermind group or coffee connection group, a group of people that can help you in doing it where you can share these things. That's what it's going to take to be really good at this on a consistent basis.
Mark, thank you so much. That was outstanding.